Hello, my name is Mack. I'm going to be talking a little bit about a book that I had to read for AL class, or academic literacy. This book name is Lost Boy and Lost Girl. The genre is a nonfiction novel, and this book was written by John Baldow and Martha Arul Akett, with the help of Michael S. Sweeney and K. M. Costello. The big theme or idea of this book was overcoming conflict. I'm going to talk about some things that help them overcome their conflicts. But in order for you to understand why these next couple of things, or conflicts, I have to give you a little summary of the novel as a whole. There are two main characters in the book. John is one, and Martha is another. They both have to try and find refuge in refugee camps that are dotted all around the country they live in, Sudan. The reason they need to find refuge is because their country has broken out in a civil war. When they fled, they both left their families behind, with the exception of Tabitha, Martha's little sister. They had to walk for miles and had to go from camp to camp until they were both in the same refugee camp that kept them safe for the time being. They both weren't in the same place at the same time when they were going to that refugee camp. Famine had spread all throughout the land, and they didn't really have a super fun time. Then, one day when John checked the board, he was unbelievably happy. By the way, the board was a list of all the names who would get to go on a trip to a bigger country. They both met together and they fell in love and stuff happened. But now to the conflicts. The first conflict was the media. Well, it wasn't really conflict, in my opinion. This was something that helped them and their country to overcome their conflicts. But here's how this helped. You probably get the notification on your phone that has the latest news on CNN or other websites, right? Of course you do. But that's what helped the situation. Because of the news on other websites, people in other countries started to notice or gain some knowledge on the world around them. But also, other bigger countries helped the people in the refugee camps and helped them make their lives just a little bit better. Eventually, America started to send over some refugees in the camps to help them get a better chance and stance on their lives. But the media really helped John and Martha because it helped them improve their living standards a little bit. Not by much, but at least to give them hope. And hope, in my opinion, is a very powerful thing. But media sort of spread the word a little, and now there are so many organizations that are helping people in those countries out. See? Not all things in the media or the internet is bad. It might just help people in a different country. Now, this is where this takes a little bit of a dark turn. All wars have their consequences. Most people should know that. The consequence could be death tolls to loss of food, famine, maybe even loss of infrastructure. The list goes on. But for John and Martha, I think the biggest conflict that they had to overcome was the thing you can't ever avoid: loss. You can see the word loss in a lot of contexts, but usually you see it fit with death or maybe the Grim Reaper if that's what you believe in. Martha had lost her parents and some of her siblings, again with the exception of Tabitha. John, on the other hand, had lost everyone. The person who saved him from the attack was his next-door neighbor. This was the case for many lost boys and girls. They were running into the bush, or also known as the wilderness, and lost their families because of the chaos. Since they didn't have phones or anything to tell their family, they were often just hoped to find them again. Martha had nightmares every so often about her family, and about the children and adults that were killed around her. John was always hoping to see his parents and meet them again. He always was sad and thought about his family a lot. But we have a special guest today. Welcome, John Baldow. Clapping, claps, yay, clap, woo. So, Mr. Dow.
Please, call me John.
Okay, John, what was being in the refugee camps like?
Well, Mac, first of all, the camps were very dirty and weren't really well kept. Eventually, some of the lost boys and girls got something we call tuk-tuk.
John, if you don't mind me asking, what is tuk-tuk? Why is it so bad?
Well, it was a bug that would burrow into your feet and lay eggs in there. It hurt so bad that some of the children started to walk on their hands. They pretty much dragged themselves around, but then the tuk-tuk would just burrow in the hands and forearms. It was awful to see all those kids like that.
I bet. I couldn't even imagine being one of those poor kids. What else about the camp?
Well, when someone got to go to America, there would be a little dance party held for that person. Whenever my friends got to go to America, I'd congratulate them. I would be genuinely happy for them. The camps weren't a place you wanted to be.
What was the food like in the camp?
You got your portions of food for that week. The food was like oatmeal. It's called maize in the South Sudan.
Okay. Well, we only have a little bit of time left, so one last question.
Okay, lay it on me.
I heard you have a foundation. What is that foundation about, and what do you do?
My foundation is called John Doe Foundation. It helps with kids who cannot get luxuries that we have. We provide things like health programs and nutrition and food supplies. We are a non-profit organization, so all the proceeds go to help the people of the Sudan. I created the foundation because I wanted to help my people and make sure they have better time than I did when I had to go through that situation.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, John, for coming in and letting us interview you.
No problem, Mac.
Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. Hello, my name is Mack. I'm going to be talking a little